Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Lovisa.
Welcome to this video with
Yay.
myself and Tim. We're going to be talking about portals today and being an energy anchor as well, and do a little meditation, read it for you.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Because we've discussed the portal thing for a little while, haven't we?
Yeah.
Kind of portal mastery, what a portal is, people's perceptions of portals. So I thought it's a lovely one to cover. Thank you, Lovisa.
And in our workshop a month ago exactly, was the 29th of September. Today is the 29th of October, 2021.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we did portals to the cosmic heart, and that it went very quickly, that whole hour and 15 minutes. So we didn't cover all that much about portals.
No.
So I've had some questions after.
I think we explained the kind of like the basic energy dynamics. So I'm just going to have a slurp of tea.
Oh yeah,
cup. Is that pretty?
Yeah, lovely cup. Look at my cup. With my,
nice.
With my logo. Yeah.
Yay. I better get myself one of them, hadn't I?
Yeah, with your
we've thought about it afterwards. You thought about it afterwards that maybe we didn't explain what a portal actually is, and like to some in some ways that to us it might seem very, very simple, but for people out there, like if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my god, a portal, you know, like then this video is for you, basically.
Yeah, I know. I woke up the morning after the workshop with that thought in my head. I have to do a video about portals.
Yeah.
So then actually I didn't have the time because I had so many people contact me after that workshop. So
yeah. Good.
But now I thought it would be lovely to do it with you, Tim. Yeah. So
I'm very honored.
Planning for that workshop, I thought that you were the specialist, you know, on portals also. And then I think the day before, maybe the same morning, you said to me, and then you were going to talk about portals. I'm like, am I? Yeah.
It's I've always regarded you as very portal competent. You know, like,
what does that mean?
It's
I don't even know that word. Competent.
It's one of these things that it's once you're familiar with crystals, once you're familiar with how energy works, once you're familiar with how intention works, the whole concept of portals becomes far more self-explanatory. When you look at it from maybe, say, a third dimensional perspective, where you may have had like a more kind of fear-based kind of explanation of what a portal is, then you'd be a little bit more wary about them. Now, obviously, portal management is a thing. Okay, if you're going to start opening portals, then you've got to know kind of like the protocol around them, what they involve, what they do, how to actually use them, and what the purpose of them actually is. So it's but a lot of this is actually natural flow. When you start working on this level, when you start working with crystals, when you start working with what anchoring and energy actually does, and how it actually enters our reality and interacts with us, then the whole portal thing becomes very much simpler, if you see what I mean. Yeah.
I'm thinking about now when I started waking up 4 years ago, a little bit more, and I'm going to show that my ankh.
Yes.
In the let's see, because then the first time I connected with Tim, I got that was to buy an ankh. Let me see if I can share that. That ankh is resting on the seabed at the moment because it broke a few days after this photo was taken.
I remember the ankh drama, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, bless it.
So this, right. So when I connected, even before I got it, when I just saw photos of this ankh, that I knew I was going to take it to this spot. So it's in the Baltic Sea here in this picture, my favorite beach. So that was, without knowing at all what I was actually doing. I knew I was anchoring the energies into the ocean right away. So it's what I was thinking. It's that's why I've never really thought about what it is I'm doing. I've never thought about this is how you do it. Like it's so natural. Yeah,
exactly. Now that is such a good point, because many of you listening to this, many of you are already kind of drawn to crystals, already attracted to working with energy. You are already anchoring light in at a very high level. Your crystal is an extension of you. That crystal enables you to reach up much further and much higher than the normal physical human body is or was currently capable of doing. So, and I think it was Serapis Bey who actually said to me at one point, just in conversation, that if it wasn't for crystals, we would still technically or spiritually be in the dark ages. We would not have made the progress on this planet that we have done. So this is almost like it explained to me immediately why, as light workers or anybody on the spiritual pathway has an auto. I mean, let's be honest about this. Do you know anybody who doesn't like crystals in some way or another, or has an aversion to them? I mean, maybe if they're carved into a certain shape that doesn't resonate with you, yes, but as a material, as a construction, as something that we are drawn to, it's almost instinctive. And that is because they expand what we do. As soon as we start,
so I'm really anchoring. So
yes,
even wearing like my anchoring Iceland
Earth Star
wool clothes and everything. No, but this is very, very much anchoring. That is
probably one of the most anchored crystals that I've worked with before.
Yeah, right.
That is the purpose of it, basically. Yeah. Once you start using very high frequency energies, once these are coming through you on a regular basis, it's almost like you're a lightning rod. Okay, so these come down from the higher dimensions and they go through various steps of stepping down. But that crystal it's almost like you see the lightning conductor, it reaches up and brings it in. And we've had to adapt to these very much higher frequencies, which is why a lot of us have been physically under pressure for so long now, and are still adapting to it. Every single day that we exist on planet Earth, the energies get higher because we're anchoring more in. It doesn't just happen willy-nilly. We are the anchor points for this. And portals come hand in hand with anchoring, because a portal of light will be created when that anchor occurs. It's a natural process.
So. Then we're almost like walking, talking portals too, in a way.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, like once we've got to the stage that we are, I mean, those of you listening to this, whether you're new to the ascension pathway or whether you're a veteran or whatever stage you're at, you will be aware of the fact now that this is part of your process, that you anchor it in. And when you do, everything around you begins to expand. Once that energy anchors in, it's here permanently. That's why the higher realms look for anchor points, because it's very difficult otherwise to penetrate that lower frequency and get basically established.
Yeah, so that's a good point. That's why our souls are anchored in the physical, like into our bodies. We're already, so that's why we're so crucial. Those of us who are in physical here on Earth,
very much so.
Like the best anchor points.
Yeah, very much so. And we're becoming brighter, and our ability to anchor is increasing with every single day. Every day that we're here, the energies get higher, and they're looking for more anchor points. It's like, right, okay, where can we anchor in now? Where can we establish? Where are we building this fifth dimensional foundation? And it's a very fast moving process. It's been accelerating for the last 2 years, like in a way that I've never seen previously.
And I'm thinking about the chakras, because when I know when you wake up and we all go through a lot of clearing, healing, and we let go of blocks in our chakra system. And so that light that when we anchor it in, it can be not completely but partially stopped in the chakras. But so that for me, since they've been pushing me pretty hard. Now I know how to do it with zero resistance. Like they're gonna in the meditation, we are gonna talk about that. But if there's resistance, it's going to be, I'm not going to say painful, but it's going to be difficult. I felt like my head was going to blow, or, when you're not fully, you don't have the flow, and there's resistance somewhere.
It will always be due to something that hasn't been cleared or dealt with. And they're very on the table. They're very on the surface at the moment. I mean, like, as I've probably heard me say before, there's the 4 trouble chakras, which I've identified: third eye, throat, solar plexus, and sacral, and now the outer major at the back. So that's 5. And those are the very, very physical chakras that we engage with our reality with on a daily basis, involving other people's energies, relationships, speaking our truth, and being plugged in, especially with the outer major, being plugged into the previous reality. Once we've disconnected from that chakra at the back of the neck becomes very active, and it has to clear. So there's been so many people in the last 18 months or so that have had these issues at the back of the neck, where literally it's just like that movie The Matrix, where they unplug Neo. He's like, oh my god, I'm freshly born, sort of thing. But on an energy level, that has to be all of that wiring and programming in the previous chakra, in its previous format, has to be cleared. And that's a physical process. Anything that's clearing within a chakra will sometimes, or pretty much most of the time, manifest as something physical that we experience tangibly, that has to be cleared, because we're physical people. So that's the way it works.
Oh, let me show another photo, because I showed the ankh in the water. Let me show that what it looks like there.
No, it's on, right, okay.
This is where it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to be there.
So this is on my home island where I grew up, Öland, in the southeast of Sweden. And that, I say, is like a huge energy node. That's another word for you.
Yeah.
So that's like, I don't know, it's like a crossroads of where a lot of energy meets.
An intersection.
What would you say? Yeah. And between dimensions also.
Yeah.
And this the island it's all limestone.
Oh, beautiful.
And that's so I've been told by Metatron and Sandalphon that also matters. The limestone is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
very
I don't know. It's
so.
Actually more like an isolator.
It's beautiful there. I was like that windmill is so Swedish, isn't it? It's lovely.
Yeah. So that place, and it's so this is my favorite spot on the island, and it's so very connected to Neptune. And there's a little island out in this is the strait. The water you see here is the strait between the mainland and the island and Öland. There's a little island that's a gateway, a portal to Neptune. But this whole area is so connected, like the energy, the Neptune energy. So
and this is and for want of a better word, it will have been you and your visiting and your conscious activation which have anchored that in and created that possibility.
So now, with that place, I don't really feel it like when you think of a portal, you see it like one beam of light, pillar of light. Here, yes, it would be in that little island out there, but the whole area is it's so huge.
It's almost like the way to describe it would be, it's like, I call it sometimes parallel bleed through, where things are mixed and merged with each other. So it's quite a big area, and you can feel, it's like when you go to Glastonbury, for instance, you can feel Glastonbury 10 miles out. Like you're driving there, and all of a sudden you'll go past a certain point and the energy just completely changes, and you're driving your car and you're like, wow, okay, that's unique. And I used to be able to feel that back in the 90s when I went down there. It'd be like, this place is different. It's very, very special, and you can feel it a long way out. So it reminds me of that somewhat.
But so I've understood now after I woke up that this is an important point. You don't have to be aware that you're working with portals, so that you're even opening or reactivating them when you do it. And I mean, I was born on that island for a reason, and so that has been happening. I've been working with those energies my whole life without knowing. But then, of course, when you do wake up and you're doing it consciously, and then you can amplify it so much more.
It becomes a conscious process. And like you say, that is a very important point, that a lot of you listening to this, everywhere you go and everything you do, that you are doing from a heart-centered perspective, or you're doing it from a place of joy. Like, you are anchoring that energy and you're anchoring that light in, and your very presence alone will be like, the only way to describe it is a portal of light. This is why a lot of us underestimate how powerful we actually are, because just our very presence alone on this planet, once we are almost solid in our mighty I am presence, we're starting to manifest that vibration, that energy, that changes everything around you. Everything around you rises to your frequency, rather you becoming, like, you know what we used to be in 3D, like, oh, I must hide from everything, it's detrimental to my lovely vibration, we had to protect ourselves. But now that's not
I don't know that. I wasn't awake then, Tim.
No.
So to me, it's also when you're talking about it. But then I did hear it with people talking about portals with like lower energies. It's just it's like, it's alien to me. It's
funny, isn't it?
It's not in my.
No, there's a lot of teachings back in the 80s, the 90s, and the year 2000 that were warning against, you know, any kind of portal activity, or if you did it, it had to be set up with a very strong set of protocols or protection. And I find that previous concept of protection, although we do still need it in some ways, is very much kind of like, it's the separation consciousness of 3D, where we are, you know, we're aware of our higher frequency in a lower vibrational space, so therefore we have to protect our frequency and separate ourselves from it. When in actual fact, the concept of the 5th dimensional protection is you raise your light and everything rises to your frequency. So that it turns the whole psychology of it on its head. But it's a very difficult one to deprogram yourself from if you spent the whole of your spiritual beginnings growing up in an environment where you were taught to protect yourself, and were taught that something was wrong, or something was potentially dangerous. That's a lot of deprogramming to deal with.
I'm feeling now, because when I woke up, I just naturally did this. I was never worried, and then after a while I realized I have been very protected. I mean, I had like these lion energies, and like a gold around me, and Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron, without even knowing it. So and that's something that, if you're thinking, oh, I need to know all of these details to make sure I do everything right, I think the only thing you need to do is to call in the archangels, that protection, and ask them to, and they will do it. You don't need to follow another specific protocol or anything.
No. Sometimes it's good to go through. It's good to have disciplines where you take time to do stuff for yourself to begin your day, like grounding, like putting on your golden suit, and bringing the light in. That's spiritual discipline. That's what will set you onto the right foot for the rest of the day. But once you've done that, once you've called that energy in, you are then a generator for that light, and everything around you will respond to that frequency. And it's natural. You don't need to like you say, you don't need to spend your day thinking about it.
I mean, if you just say that you want this done for the highest light, for the highest good, and you call on the angels, for example, Archangel Metatron, and then it's completely safe, is what I'm saying. I mean, if you then in that way also, you don't invite fear. If you're worried that you're not doing it right, then you're inviting the fear in also.
You are.
So
it's natural to doubt. It is natural when you maybe have had a hard time or a challenging wake up, or things might not have been trustworthy in your life, to doubt the validity of what you're bringing in. But in which case you then look to the spiritual laws. Ask and it shall be given. You invoke and it is given to you. You know, the universe is impartial. Whatever you ask for will be given. under spiritual law. So as long as it is for the higher good of those around you, it will be presented to you. Raising your light is for the higher good of the planet. So you want to raise your light, or you want to wear these frequencies, or you want to work with these higher beings, then that will happen. And once you ask, it will occur, whether you can tangibly perceive it or not at the time. A lot of us are beginning to feel it now. So
I mean, you can always add under grace, and in a perfect way.
Under grace is very important whenever you're dealing with, say, something like a portal or an anchor point. If it's to do with affecting an area, then of course you invoke it under grace, because under grace makes sure that everything functions within the parameters of the spiritual laws. And obviously, on a planet that is very fast moving and changing at the moment, and the details of the restructuring are very fine, then we are doing, it's almost like we're doing everything to the letter a little bit. So it's a finely tuned process.
Now I had someone ask after our workshop, she was saying to me, okay, so now I have a portal to the cosmic heart in my home. What do I do with it? What do I need to do? Kind of like she was like what do I need to do to that, so that everything, that's what I understand from her question, that she's worried that, you know, she has to do something.
Yeah.
But what I said, like, it's all self-sustaining. So actually she doesn't have to do anything.
No,
but
no,
I invite her to work with it.
Yeah. I mean, just be consciously aware of it. But one thing that I was always guided to do, and this is when I realized that I was kind of portal popping, crystals. Your crystal will be the anchor point for that portal. So you could own just one crystal, you know, like you could have just the one. And every time you anchor an energy into it, that creates the portal of light, and it also creates the anchor point. You don't need to do any more than that. Okay, that is a self-managing, self-regulating energy. Once it's there, it's there. It opens the doorways and the gateways to the higher realms. That's why I always used to get such interesting communications via my crystals when I wasn't listening properly. And it'd be like, come on, have I ever told you that story about the Pleiadians, Lovisa? No, when I first started with the crystal skulls, just very quickly.
Oh yeah.
I bought 10 crystal skulls, and this was back in the first days of me getting to know crystals, and I bought 10 of them. I thought they were fantastic, so I put them all in my kitchen and put them in a grid with a grid formation. There was no particular format to it. My intention was just to clear them, balance them, set them at a 5th dimensional frequency, and open up the potential for higher beings to come in and connect. And had the busiest day in the world, was running around like an absolute fool all day long, didn't have enough time to do anything. And it got to 10 o'clock at night, and a lovely lady who I was not connected with messaged me on Facebook and said, I feel really like I shouldn't be doing this, but I work closely with the Pleiadian High Council. They have insisted that I message you. And I was like, oh, right, okay, what have they got to say? You know, I don't mind. And they said, well, Tim, will you pick, her very words were, Tim, will you pick up your bloody phone? Like that. And I was like, hang on. And then the penny dropped, and I suddenly realized that what they were talking about was the 10 crystal skulls that I hadn't paid any attention to all day. And they were kind of wanted me to work with them.
Yeah.
And the Pleiadian High Council had anchored into them. Okay, so this is the potential of what you have around you. And so there we have it. We have the anchor point, and we have the portal of light that then allowed all of this information from the Pleiadian High Council to start coming through. And from that point, I received the Blue Rose, which then went into the first book that Diana Cooper and I wrote. And several workshops came off the back of that information, and also the establishment of the connection of the Pleiadian High Council to our ascension process. But they needed to anchor that in.
Yeah.
They needed that point in which to connect with in order to get the information out, and somebody who's prepared to listen.
Yeah. I'm thinking now, did we define like what a portal is? I mean, it is an anchor point.
Yeah, it is an anchor point, but it's a parameter of energy that allows higher beings to step through. Okay.
Those beings and energies.
Yeah, light energies, and they will
light,
always
love, wisdom.
Working with this light. It will always work above the benchmark of polarity. It will not then become accessible to allow things from the lower vibrations to come through. That's the only point of technicality. when you're working with crystals, when you're working with pillars of light, when you're working with portals, you always set the intention that it's from a 5th dimensional frequency and upwards. That is as simple as that. Okay. And then your anchor point and your portal of light and the area that you're working with is absolutely bulletproof. Nothing else is going to be able to use that apart from you and the higher beings that you have connected with.
And I'm thinking also about two-way communication. All portals, I don't know. I work, for me, it always works to work in both directions with them. I don't know if that's me. But I mean, I'm guessing and feeling some of them are just like anchoring light in and not actually sending anything. It's
quite often they can be transmutation areas as well. So you could say you've got a portal, like the lady who's got the portal to the cosmic heart in her house and didn't know what to do with it. Those portals will transmute anything of a lower frequency that it comes into contact with, which is why in the previous workshops, when I've done kind of global kind of anchoring in pillars of light, working upon the cities of the world, for instance, or anchoring in portals of light into areas of a very high density, very, you know, like there's a lot of bad stuff that's gone on there. They need a lot of clearing. What's the solution? Anchor in a portal of light and let the higher realms loose in there, basically. It's that simple. And so if you have this within your home, you are turning your home into essentially a sanctuary for higher energies. And sometimes that might not necessarily be comfortable for people if they're carrying a lot of lower baggage and a lot of lower stuff, because it will bring it up to the surface. Okay, once you put yourself into that energy and that energy is shared, it then becomes everybody will benefit from it. But some might not necessarily feel like that they are benefiting it from it at the time, because it is clearing all of the old stuff that no longer needs to be carried. Yeah, so again, it's a transition period when it feels worse, when it's actually getting better. Exactly, like most things on this spiritual pathway.
Yeah,
definitely.
But so, let's show the heart of the north portal then.
Yes.
See if I can put that up. Oh, here. So yeah, that's in Old Uppsala.
Yep.
There it is. So this photo is from the 9th of October. Yeah, I was preparing. Do you see like a white figure?
Oh yeah.
To the left of the three. Yeah,
that's right. I can
there.
see.
That's my friend Anna, my dear sister of light, with her drum.
Nice.
So we were working with. We had a workshop on the 1010.
Yeah.
So yeah, what happened to him in 2019 in April? I at the time had no idea. I had just been told by Thor, very clearly, and by Archangel Metatron, saying that you need to take Tim there. And I asked why. Your presence is needed, was all he said, and I understood he meant both mine and your presence. Yeah. But I had no idea what we were going to do there. So well,
I really loved that visit. It was freezing, wasn't it? I remember I'd come over in April and was half expecting a beautiful Swedish spring, and it was absolutely bone-chillingly cold when we went there. And we went there and we reactivated the portal to the King's Mound. And it was incredibly powerful. You stood on one mound, I stood on the other, and we opened the gateway.
Yeah. So the mound to the right in this picture, that's Odin's mound where you were standing, Tim.
Yeah.
And I was on Frey's, actually, in the middle. And then the other one is Thor's. That's what they're called. And yeah, you see that there's a church behind there. And that's where they think, usually that's what they did. There was the temple, the old Aesir Golden Temple, the main temple of the Viking, the Aesir faith. So when they changed into Christianity, of course, they put the church, they tore, everything, just to the ground and put the church on top of it. So
that was an incredible visit, and I just literally could see this golden gateway appearing. And I mean, we couldn't stay out there very long. If I remember rightly, I had like a jumper that I'm very similar to the one that I'm wearing now, and a hoodie over the top of it. I was not prepared for cold weather.
No.
So we were there, like we went up there, we did the job as quickly as possible, and then we got back in the car again. It was
really
great.
early in the morning also, actually.
It was early, wasn't it? Because I had to fly back to England that morning.
Yeah, like in that picture, you could see no one was actually on those 3 mounds, because you're not allowed to walk up there. But it said on a sign, like, ask permission in the museum.
Ah, right.
And so you said to me, can we go up there? And I'm like, there's no one in the museum, like, let's just go.
Let's just go up there anyway. Yeah, we were completely on board. I think it was one person walking their dog, and they weren't interested in what we were doing. So
but that's a perfect example of, like, what was I doing? I was just holding ground. That's the only thing that I heard.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm holding ground. And I was watching a hare.
Yeah.
Like, so really grounding in. It was jumping, like, like over the whole area. That's what I was doing. And you were doing your thing.
Doing my thing with my crystals. Yeah, it's fabulous. Yeah.
So that's a really powerful portal to the cosmic heart.
It is, and it's one that is highly active now, and also led to the activation of many others also in the area. Once that occurs, the ignition of the ley system, the 5th dimensional ley system that was laid out in place for such activations, begins to take place. And that's happening globally. People are doing that just simply by visiting areas, whether they're doing it consciously or not, and bringing that energy in.
Exactly. So whether you're doing it consciously or not, because also, that's something I wanted to mention, that when you visit a place like that, the thing is that both you and the portal will be activated, because you interchange keys and codes.
Absolutely.
So and that's something that happened. I'm going to show another picture. A lot of screen sharing. So let's see. Yeah, this one. So this is in April of 2017. I was not awake yet at all. I wasn't aware of it. And I mean, look at this portal. This is Lake Hakone in Japan.
That is
and
powerful.
the Torii Gate. That was actually such a sacred space that previously regular people weren't allowed to approach it.
No.
But so this is like the entrance. I mean, it was so magical that day. I know everyone who was there felt the magic. It was like we were in this like fairy tale kingdom. Like anything could be out there. That's the big lake behind me there.
Yeah, like literally.
And I never got to see it because it was like this the whole time. We stayed in a hotel there. It was like it was raining and like this the whole time. But it's like, it's so magical. Like, can you feel all of the dragons and like all the energies out there? And someone who was, there was a little bit of a line to take a photo. So the person who was, when I was waiting, someone did that gesture. And I was like, that's cool. So I'm going to do that.
Oh, it's wonderful.
So I'm really like, so that's the thing with portals and yourself. You can have active portals, but when you come there, you will reactivate another aspect of it, or so to speak, or energy there. And it will also activate you. So this was really activating a lot.
Yeah,
in
whether
me.
You know it or not.
Yeah. So this was April. Then in May, I started connecting with Birkentor. And then in June, I went to a workshop with him. And he had Ankh's, crystal Ankh's. Yeah. And then by June, I had my first session with you.
Yeah. So that portal, that particular photo is probably the trigger point for everything that occurred from that point onwards. So,
I think that's really important when you may realize years later, because there's another place that I visited. So that was in April. Yeah. Well, I'd visited also the Canary Islands. And that's a very strong connection to the Atlantean energies.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I know that as an Atlantean, I was there. So that was kind of like the last outpost or something. But so you go to, that's definitely gonna activate you.
Yes.
So if you feel called to go to special, somewhere that you really want to go there, do that, even if you're not aware.
Always a reason for it. Always.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so I had a lot of things I wanted to say. I hope we shared like most of the most important things.
Yeah, I think we've covered the principalities and what they do, what a portal is, and what an anchor point is, and the simplicity behind it. Basically, it's not a complicated thing. It's not.
And
it's the most natural thing in the world.
So what I also told this lady who was asking about what to do with the portal in her home, is I said, because in that meditation there were two dragons that came. Remember, like the yin yang symbols, like lying wrapped around it. So they will be they hold that energy.
Yeah.
Like if you're still thinking, I want to do something to make sure, do something like that, or an archangel energy, or Stargate of Lyra. It's like my energy. If you really ask that energy to be, it's going to hold that portal and complete integrity and everything.
And if at any point you want to, and again, it's down to asking. If you want to remove the portal or close the portal, then you simply do so. You simply use your intention or your words and your voice. I now close this portal down, and watch it rise back up. And it's as simple as that. And you can go about this on a daily basis doing these things. I mean, not that I can't remember, I've lost count of the amount that I've opened in my own house and the places that I've gone. I don't think I've ever closed one, to be honest.
No, I haven't.
I've never unanchored.
But now Archangel Metatron is coming in. He's saying, like, so someone might be thinking, what if someone goes around and says that and closes all the portals, like the portal to the cosmic heart here? That's not going to work, though.
No. Once
that's ill intention. So speak.
Yeah,
it's not going to work.
No. It doesn't work.
So don't worry.
Quite.
Don't worry about that. So yeah. I'm actually, let me put that photo up. I have the cards here. No, let me first show which deck they're from. This, the Archangel, the Archangel Oracle Cards by Diana Cooper.
Yeah.
I love those. So many people have, there's so many new archangels, that we don't know about. So Gersisa is one of them for me also. Yes. And the thing is, my last workshop that I had last week, actually, she was included, because I I was looking for another card, and I love this card with Gersisa. So I showed my friend who I was doing the workshop with, and she said, oh, but that's really, so it turned out Gersisa was working with us in the workshop.
Oh, lovely.
Of course. But yeah, I love those cards. So let me see if I can find the photo. I'm talking too much at the same time. So, and here we go. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
So there, we have Archangel Gersisa and Archangel Sandalphon. It's the same colors of the cards.
They are.
Also.
It's gorgeous.
And that feather fell out as I just written this visualization meditation.
Oh,
so it really
wonderful.
Has to be there. And then that crystal I got from you, Tim.
Yes, you did. I remember it.
Yeah, it's actually I'm working with the unicorn energies with it, but that really symbolizes it's like that very, very high energies coming in to be anchored in. Oh, so while we read the meditation, I think we can turn off our cameras.
We can just tune yourselves in now, lovely people.
Actually, maybe I can't turn off my camera because I'm showing the photo, but it doesn't matter. Well, let me do that. Let me stop sharing and stop my video, and then share the photo again. Here we go.
Perfect. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So here we are. So this is a meditation with Archangel Gersisa and Archangel Sandalphon to become a master energy anchor for the new golden age. Yay.
Yay.
Yay. So if you're ready, if you do have a crystal, hold on, grab it. Yeah. And then get ready for meditation and close your eyes and start to focus on your breath. So breathing in deeply and slowly through your nose and out through your mouth. Once again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And feel how with every out-breath you relax more and more, and how the ground holds and supports you.
And just take another deep breath in through your nose. And just as you breathe out, become aware of an angelic presence appearing with you. This is Archangel Gersisa, who is a supreme energy anchor. Feel her powerful, yet very peaceful and steady energy connecting with yours. She is firmly anchored in. She is holding ground, connected all of the way into the core of the earth in Hollow Earth, while at the same time being fully open towards the energies of the stars in the wide, wide cosmos.
Gersisa is inviting you now to feel both of these connections through her for a few moments. So first, feel how she's grounding in deeply all the way into the core of the earth, and feel your own roots of light, your own energy doing the same. So deep, deep down you go through mud, rocks, crystal, clay, through water, bedrock, into lava, all the way into the very core of the planet, into Hollow Earth. And feel the stability this brings you.
And then just feel and be aware of Archangel Gersisa reaching up through the heavens into the stars and the wider cosmos. Just take a few moments to follow her example. Open up to receive the starlight. And rather than connecting with one single star, feel a multitude of stars connecting with your energies. Like many individual spokes or beams anchoring you firmly into the beauty of the cosmos.
Feel the flow of energy from the sun and the stars flowing in from above. Flow into and down through your chakra column effortlessly. And then anchor deep into the earth below you. Then feel the answer from below. Love, light, and wisdom is flowing up from Hollow Earth, from the core of planet Earth, into and up through your chakra column effortlessly, and out into the cosmos. It's a two-way flow of love, light, and wisdom. You are anchored in securely between heaven and earth.
And now bring your focus to your Earth Star chakra below the soles of your feet. To be a master energy anchor, you need to stay firmly grounded at all times. This is done through your Earth Star chakra. The angel in charge of this chakra is the mighty Archangel Sandalphon. So just take a few moments to feel his powerful presence with you now. And allow your energy to connect with his. It is so stable, so pure, and filled with love for you and for every living being here on planet Earth.
Archangel Sandalphon holds your fifth dimensional gold print in your Earth Star chakra, and he now places it like a bubble all around your energy fields. So rest like this for a few moments and feel how any imbalances are cleared away, how the energy starts to flow fully and freely in all of your chakras, your bodies and fields. as all of your being aligns with your 5th dimensional gold print.
Just take a few moments to really sense and feel this. And while you are being held in this 5th dimensional bubble by Sandalphon, Archangel Gersisa now places her hands above your head. Very gently, she starts to send light down through your chakra column. The intention is to help you let go of any resistance that may remain within your chakras when cosmic energies are flowing down through your chakra column.
Indeed, you may yet have some clearing left to do in several of your chakras at this time. We're all clearing and releasing so much during this great transition into the new golden age. This can manifest as blocks in the energy flow of the chakras. But Gersisa now sends in light with keys and codes that will instruct and allow your chakras to let go of any and all resistance while you're acting as an energy anchor for the highest good of all that is. So feel this taking place in your chakra column now. You may see, sense, or feel these keys and codes light up within your chakra column.
So just relax and feel the activation taking place. Feel your chakras respond and click into a locked position for full, unconditional flow. You are an anchor point for love. You are an anchor point for love. You are an anchor point for love. It is so, and so it is. Take a deep breath in now, breathe in. And as you breathe out, observe the change in you for a few moments now. Be aware of the effortless flow of light combined with zero resistance.
Gersisa and Sandalphon now start to send light from their hands into your Earth Star chakra below you. You may even be able to see, sense, or feel the light codes, the sacred geometric symbols that they're sending into this chakra now. And take note of any specific geometric shapes that you see, as these are specific for you and will assist you in grounding in deeper.
Just taking note of any sacred geometric symbols that are coming to you. Just really sense and feel them. If ever you start to feel ungrounded, allow these symbols to flow into your Earth Star to instantly stabilize and reactivate it at the highest level possible. To experience this now. Feel the expansion in your Earth Star chakra as it is activated at a higher frequency than ever before.
Gersisa speaks to you now. This activation will heighten your ability to anchor in larger, higher and stronger currents of energy and light into the earth. At this point in Earth's ascension process, this is much needed service work.
And Archangel Sandalphon continues. You will now help raise the frequency of the entire planet by anchoring in love, light, and wisdom from the cosmos. This will flow into the ley lines and all the way down into hollow earth. And in there, Master Serapis Bey, in his golden pyramid, works with the Dragon Kingdom and the Lemurian energies to redistribute the light out through the ley system and into the new crystalline grid. And this will then flow wherever it is most needed at any given time.
Both Gersisa and Sandalphon smile at you, and they bow their heads in gratitude with one hand on their heart. Thank you for co-creating the new golden age, they say. It's now time for you to return to where you started. Focus once again on your breath and on your connection to the ground beneath you.
So now take a deep breath in. Breathe in slowly through your nose. And out through your mouth. Once again, in through your nose. And out through your mouth. And start to feel your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move your hands and your feet, feel your feet on the floor. And when you are ready, open your eyes and smile. Welcome back.
Yay, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so this is what usually happens for me. Last night I was like, I think I'm going to write a meditation for this video. And right before, yeah. So that was beautiful. What they came in with. I thought that was excellent to have this tool to kind of bypass if you have things to clear.
Yeah, that's all part of the accelerated process of anchoring that we're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
And any assistance that we can benefit from, your body will just welcome it. It really will, especially at the moment. So.
But remember also, if you ever feel like it's like now it's a bit too much, ask them to tell the angels to turn it down, because they don't know what it feels like in the physical body.
Particularly Archangel Metatron is very good at working with personal inflow of light. He will know, and your higher self will know what is the best for you. So if you're feeling pushed, if you're feeling like it's too much, ask them to just take it down a notch. You
might very well be pushing yourself, because I know all about that too. But I mean, if it feels like this is like I almost can't handle this, then you should rest and integrate. And
very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. Lovely.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you, Lovisa. It's
joining
been
me.
Truly lovely talking to you and working with you again this morning. And I hope everybody who listens to this has a better understanding of what we see as actually very much part of our everyday ascension process now, and how powerful we are as individuals, and especially working as groups with focused intention.
Definitely. So this video I'm going to put both on my YouTube channel, Ascension with Lovisa, and on my Facebook page, Ascension with Lovisa. It's all called.
It'll also be available next week on mine too. So I'll put this out too, so everybody can have a good watch.
Yeah, and then I think people know where to find you, Tim, but if not, so through your website, right?
www.timwild.com, Timwild Practical Ascension, and that's about as far as I go with social media at the moment.
Yeah. So I also have a website now. Yay! It's also ascensionwithlovisa.com.
Brilliant.
So
Brilliant.
Yeah,
It's
finally.
wonderful. So go and have a look. Check us out.
Thank you everyone for listening.
Lots of love
Thank
to
you
you
so
all.
much, Tim.
Thank you, Lovisa.
Lots of love.
See you soon. Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.